Hi, I'm Sonia from Vidya Guru, starting a new session on current affairs. This session is in English medium. This session is for the month of November. So November 2020 current affairs. As you guys can see that I am delivering the whole lecture in English. If you are not comfortable with the language, you can switch to the Hindi medium session. That is also there in the playlist. Because this session is primarily for our South Indian students. This session is primarily for our Northeast students, because students who join us from Kerala, students who join us from Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, this session is primarily for them. The reason is that they are unable to understand Hindi well. That is why we shoot a separate session for those students, those who are well versed with Hindi and they are able to comprehend our lecture well. This important session is for you guys. So I'm going to start the session, and before starting, if you like the session, do press the like button for sure. Share the video with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to Vidya Guru's YouTube channel. When you subscribe to the channel, please press the bell icon. That's how you will get the notifications of all the exam relevant videos which we upload. Today we'll be discussing about Man Booker Prize. Today there'll be many political happenings. Today we'll be talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat also. Today we'll be talking about IPL matches too. Today we'll be talking about many happenings, such as I've actually mentioned a few, and I'll be talking about foreign policies, India's foreign policies. I'll be talking about them too. Now you have a fair idea that what I'll be discussing in today's lecture and how important this session is going to be. Man Booker Prize in itself is so very important that you guys are going to see this question in one of your exams, or maybe many of your exams. So this session is relevant for almost all the competitive exams. So let's start. Man Booker Prize. Man Booker Prize was awarded to Douglas Stewart. Douglas Stewart is basically a Scottish American fellow. This Scottish American fellow, that means he has the nationality of two nations, Scottish, American. Douglas Stewart was awarded Man Booker Prize for his novel Shuggie Bain. Read the spellings here. Shuggie Bain. Shuggie Bain is the novel. It's an autobiographical novel of Douglas Stewart. Prize money for Man Booker Prize is huge. It is £50,000. £50,000 which Douglas Stewart received for Man Booker Prize. Don't forget this question. It is very relevant. The next question is, Bihar's new chief minister. The same one got the position again. He is becoming the chief minister of Bihar. The seventh time. Nitish Kumar from JDU, that means Janata Dal United. Nitish Kumar is going to sworn in as the chief minister of Bihar once again. So he has become the chief minister and the deputy chief minister. See, his party is also important. If something new happens, you need to be aware about it. The deputy CMs are important. Why the word CM has become CMs? Because this time there are two actually. The first deputy chief minister is Tarkishore Prasad. The second chief minister is Renu Devi. And this lady Renu Devi, who becomes the chief minister, deputy chief minister of Bihar, she is going to be the first woman deputy chief minister of Bihar. That is actually unique. First woman deputy chief minister. And Tarkishore Prasad and Renu Devi, they are from Bharatiya Janata Party. And you know that because this was an alliance actually, through which Nitish Kumar has become the chief minister. So 7th time chief minister Nitish Kumar, Tarkishore Prasad and Renu Devi. If you are aware of the name, if you are familiar with the name of the chief minister, you need to be familiar with the name of deputies also. That is why I'm making you familiar with these two important names. The other question is, make out yourself, check that the name of this ministry has got changed and the name of the ministry has got changed, and how important this question becomes for us. Shipping Ministry, that means the earlier name of this ministry was Shipping Ministry, and now this ministry has been renamed as Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. This shipping ministry will be called Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. And who handles this ministry? Who is the Minister of State independent charge? Mansukh Mandviya. Mansukh Mandviya is handling shipping ministry, which has become Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. Understand why I actually read them again and again, why I repeat them so often, so that Ministry of Shipping becomes Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. Let's move to the other point. ISRO launches. Now the question of ISRO is equally important. When I talk about ISRO, that has actually launched Earth Observation Satellite 01, Earth Observation Satellite 1. This Earth Observation Satellite obviously was launched with a launched vehicle. So ISRO has launched this Earth Observation Satellite 01 by PSLV C-49, that is Polar Satellite Launched Vehicle C-49. So with PSLV C-49, Earth Observation Satellite 01 was launched. It was launched from Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh, Satish Dhawan Space Center. Let's move to the other question. So I'll be talking about them one by one. Joe Biden, who is actually Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. That is his complete name. He is Joe Biden, famous as Joe Biden, becomes the president of USA. He is the 46th president of USA. First woman to be the vice president of United States of America, that is Kamala Devi Harris. By reading the name as Kamala Devi Harris, can you guys make out that she has, the Indian origin? We all know that. You have heard that as well, but there's something else to it that I'll be talking about. She is the first black woman. That means when I refer to black, that means I refer to African American, Asian American woman. So first Asian American, first black woman, that means first black, first Asian American, and first South Asian woman to be the vice president of United States of America. So Kamala Devi Harris, 49th Vice President of United States of America. They both are Democrats. Joe Biden, Kamala Devi Harris, they are from Democratic Party. Let's move to the other question. Now we'll talk about a project which is going to come up in Himachal Pradesh, and that is Luhri Stage 1 project. There's a possibility they may give you the name of the project, that is Luhri Stage 1 project. What sort of project it is and where it is going to come up. You need to be aware of the place and what sort of project it is, that you need to be familiar with. It is a hydroelectric project which is going to come up in Himachal Pradesh. That's what I wish to convey here. Luhri Stage 1 hydroelectric project which is going to come up in Himachal Pradesh. The next question is, now we'll talk about National Education Day. See, probably there's a possibility that you guys are aware that the National Education Day is observed on 11th of November. But the reason behind is that it is basically the birth anniversary of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. And who Maulana Abul Kalam Azad was, that I'm going to tell you here, that he was the first Education Minister of Independent India. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, to commemorate his birth anniversary, we actually celebrate 11th November as National Education Day. Our first Education Minister of Independent India, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, his birthday is celebrated as National Education Day. Now you can actually keep this in your mind forever. World Diabetes Day is observed on 14th November. World Pneumonia Day is observed on 12th November. Diabetes Day 14th November, Pneumonia Day 12th November. The next question is, there's one exercise, Malabar exercise, took place in Bay of Bengal. So this was actually a multilateral exercise. It was not a bilateral exercise. It was not a trilateral exercise. That means more than 2, more than 3 participating nations were there. That is why multilateral exercise, multilateral maritime exercise, Malabar exercise took place in Bay of Bengal, in which India, Japan, Australia, USA were the participating nations. Australia joined recently, but I was saying that it is not a bilateral or trilateral exercise. Bilateral 2 nations, trilateral 3 nations, but it is a multilateral exercise. That means more than 3 nations were participating. Here we are trying to convey that. Malabar exercise, Bay of Bengal, and India, USA, Japan, and Australia were the participating nations in this maritime exercise. And the next question is Dream 11 IPL 2020. So now we are going to talk about IPL. There are many students who are actually familiar with the outcome, the result of this IPL match, but I'll be making you revise those important points, because I feel that such questions can be there in your exam too. The winner of IPL, Dream 11 IPL Dream 11 IPL 2020, that was Mumbai Indians. Mumbai Indians actually led by Rohit Sharma. Wherever you are going to search about Mumbai Indians, they'll be mentioning it as Rohit Sharma's Mumbai Indians. That means Rohit Sharma was actually leading Mumbai Indians. So Rohit Sharma was the captain of Mumbai Indians team, which actually defeated Delhi Capitals. The runner-up team was Delhi Capitals. The winner team was Mumbai Indians. And most valuable player, that means sort of player of the series, most valuable player was Jofra Archer. Jofra Archer was actually made the most valuable player of this Dream 11 IPL 2020. Orange cap was actually given to KL Rahul, and this orange cap is for obtaining maximum runs. Orange cap was provided to KL Rahul. Purple cap for maximum wickets. Purple cap was actually for maximum wickets. That was actually given to Kagiso Rabada. Kagiso Rabada got purple cap. KL Rahul got orange cap. Most valuable player was Jofra Archer. And Mumbai Indians were the winner by defeating Delhi Capitals. Let's move to the other question. This is about IPL 2. How? Let's read the heading first. It's written third Women's T20 Challenge. Third Women's T20 Challenge, but read that like that. When I mentioned the name of the winner, the winning team was IPL Trailblazers. When you actually talk about Trailblazers, it is Smriti Mandhana's Trailblazers, where they are actually indirectly telling you that Smriti Mandhana was actually leading Trailblazers. That means Smriti Mandhana was the captain of Trailblazers. Trailblazers defeated IPL Supernovas. So runner-up team was IPL Supernovas. Winner team was IPL Trailblazers. Player of the series, Radha Yadav. And actually Radha Yadav has got maximum wickets also. So you have to actually learn this name, for 2 remarkable things. That is, player of the series Radha Yadav, and maximum wickets were taken by Radha Yadav only. Maximum runs by Chamari Atapattu, maximum runs. Let's move to the other point. Here on we'll start discussing about a few books, and I'll start with it like that. I Am No Messiah. It is basically an autobiography of Sonu Sood. Sonu Sood, who helped people during the hours of need, during the time of need. So such sort of titles, such sort of things were actually said to him that he was a messiah. That is why probably he actually kept the name of his book like that. I Am No Messiah. I Am No Messiah is an autobiography of Sonu Sood, related like that. Book, How to Be a Writer. Ruskin Bond is the only person who can actually teach us easily such a thing. So his book's name is How to Be a Writer. Ruskin Bond's book. Boskiana. Boskiana is actually a book dedicated to Gulzar. Gulzar, the lyricist actually, the writer Gulzar. So Boskiana is a book dedicated to Gulzar. Let's move to the other book, and that is Writer of Your Best Day Is Today. There are a few books I'll be actually mentioning here about Anupam Kher. The book is Your Best Day Is Today, is the book of Anupam Kher. आप खुद ही बेस्ट हैं. That is actually the name of the book, आप खुद ही बेस्ट हैं, which is actually classified or translates in English is like that. Translates in English like that. The best thing about you is you. The best thing about you is you. That is the name of the other book written by Anupam Kher. An autobiography of Anupam Kher is Lessons Life Taught Me Unknowingly. Lessons Life Taught Me Unknowingly. These are actually the books written by Anupam Kher. Let's move to the other question. There's something new happened here. PM of Luxembourg. 2 decades later, one standalone summit between India and Luxembourg. Yeah, that is different. That is actually different. Rarely happened. That is why it becomes very important for us. Read it carefully. PM of Luxembourg is Xavier Bettet. Xavier Bettet is the name of PM of Luxembourg. We have actually, India and Luxembourg conducted first standalone summit in last 2 decades. 2 decades, I'm referring to 20 years. Understand that. The longer the duration is, obviously the question becomes even more relevant and imperative. First standalone summit in last 2 decades with Luxembourg, and the PM becomes very important. Luxembourg's PM is Xavier Bettet. And MOUs were actually signed. 3 important MOUs which were signed between India and Luxembourg are India International Exchange, India INX, India International Exchange, and Luxembourg Stock Exchange. Between India INX and Luxembourg Stock Exchange. The second one was between SBI, State Bank of India, and Luxembourg Stock Exchange, the second MOU. And these MOUs were actually signed in regard with cooperation in financial services, ESG, that means environmental, social and governance. The full form is important here of ESG. The full form is very important. That is environmental, social and governance, and green finance. In these things will be cooperating with each other between Luxembourg and India. And the third thing was Invest India and Lux Innovation. Invest India and Lux Innovation. Between these two, the third MOU was signed regarding business cooperation, improvement, regarding FDI facilitation, foreign direct investment facilitation. So for these, India and Luxembourg signed 3 MOUs. Let's move to the other point. Now, as we have started talking about foreign relations of India with other nations, so we'll be talking about India's summit with Italy, and we'll be talking about India's summit as in India ASEAN summit, which was actually co-chaired with the PM of Vietnam. So we'll be talking about them one by one. The first one is between India and Italy. A virtual summit took place in which PM Modi and PM of Italy, that is Giuseppe Conte. Giuseppe Conte is the name of Italy's Prime Minister. As there's a virtual summit between PM Modi and PM Giuseppe Conte, so the name of this fellow is important for you. And when I actually move to the other point, the lower one, which states that PM Modi to co-chair collectively, collectively he'll be chairing this India ASEAN summit with the PM of Vietnam. So the name of the PM of Vietnam becomes important for us, and his name is Nguyen Xuan Phuc. Nguyen Xuan Phuc and Giuseppe Conte and Nguyen Xuan Phuc. Don't forget the name of the PM of Italy, the name of the PM of Vietnam, because these summits took place, and not the name of Luxembourg's Prime Minister also. The other question is, India launches 5th Scorpene class submarine. The name of it is INS Wagir. INS Wagir is the name of 5th Scorpene class submarine of India. This Scorpene class submarine can be asked in the exam as India launches 5th Kalvari class submarine also. Then also the answer is going to be INS Wagir only. Why Kalvari class? Because the first Scorpene class submarine was Kalvari. That is why the entire class, it happens that the entire class is named after the first only. So that's what is happening here. INS Kalvari was the first of the 6 Scorpene class submarines, and the 5th one got launched here, developed in association with France. What? Scorpene class submarine. The fifth one, INS Wagir, which actually came in our Navy. Let's move to the other question. Now, a nod to WhatsApp Pay. WhatsApp can actually keep it functional, that WhatsApp Pay will be used by all of us in the near future, because they have actually got the consent from NPCI, National Payments Corporation of India, which handles retail payments actually. So that National Payments Corporation of India has given consent, given nod to WhatsApp Pay. WhatsApp Pay will be actually available with UPI payment mode. NPCI has actually capped UPI transactions on third-party apps at 30%. Let me make it clear to you. Let's say if I am using Google Pay, maybe Phone Pay or Paytm, they have some market share. Google Pay has market share of 40% in UPI payments. Phone Pay has 40% market share in UPI payments, and Paytm has 20% market share in UPI payments. Now they have capped it to 30%, that if it is a third party transaction, if it is a third party app, it has to be under 30% only. It was actually capped under 30%. It cannot go beyond that. Like as I said, Google Pay has the market share of 40, it cannot have that. That means it is going to affect Google Pay and Phone Pay sort of apps, because their market share was higher than 30%. Let's move to the other question. Atmanirbhar Bharat 3.0. Read it carefully, 3.0. See, every word, whatever I write, I choose the word carefully, and I'm not going to talk about 1.0, 2.0 here in this page which is there on your screen. Here I'll be talking about only third edition of our Atmanirbhar Bharat package. Third edition, third phase, third stage. The third Atmanirbhar Bharat package is, the value is 2.65 lakh crore. The value is 2.65 lakh crore. Total stimulus package from RBI and government, collectively it becomes 29.87 lakh crore, in which the government's share, the government's stimulus package is 9% of the GDP. I can classify it like that. That 29.87 lakh crore is the 15% of our gross domestic product of our country basically. So gross domestic product, of that 100%, 15% is the value of this Atmanirbhar package, Atmanirbhar stimulus package given by RBI and government collectively. And I told you the government's share is 9% of GDP in this stimulus package. Now we'll be talking about a few more things in this package only. I'll be starting with 1.0, 2.0, I'll be talking about them, but the questions are very important. I know from here on, you will start understanding a little less. Read that carefully, because I feel by reading, things will be clearer, and by understanding, when I speak, things will be even clearer. So I'll say, Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme. ECLGS, if somebody writes it like that and you have to expand it, it is going to be Emergency Credit Line. Credit line, that means loan is provided. See, for this package, we particularly mentioned different sort of loans given to different sectors. That is why credit line. So, Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme is basically ECLGS 1.0 scheme, which will remain valid till 31st March 2021. That was 1.0. First edition of Atmanirbhar Bharat, first edition of ECLGS. And when I talk about ECLGS 2.0, the second stage of Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme, that is specifically forcing, that is specifically emphasizing these 26 stressed sectors. When I talked about the first one, we did not mention any stressed sector here in the first one. In the second one, the second stage, the second edition, they have started mentioning those most affected 26 stressed sectors there in 2.0. For them, the deadline has become 31st March 2021, which they are mentioning. See, the deadline is the same. But in the second one, they are specifically talking about those 26 stressed sectors. The moratorium for emergency credit line guarantee scheme 2.0, on principle it is 1 year, 5 years window on repayment. 5 years duration is given to you on repayment, and when it comes to principal payment, then the moratorium is for 1 year only. Moratorium is actually suspension of any law. Moratorium means suspension of any law. See, if you are in a problem and you are unable to pay back the amount which you took from the bank, so moratorium is given. That means some sort of extra time is given. They are not being very strict with you in terms of rules and regulations, that you have to pay the money every month. So they are giving you some sort of relaxation here. So moratorium of 1 year on principal, 5 years on repayment. Let's move to the other question. We'll talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana, effective from 1st October 2020, and it will last till 30th June 2021. What sort of Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana it is? As you guys can make out, Rozgar, we are referring to employment here. There are organizations which have EPFO numbers and all. Their employees are registered. Their employees are also registered. So EPFO registered establishments, that means EPFO registered companies, if they took in new employees and those new employees lost their jobs. Those new employees lost their job without any EPFO number or something like that, then the Yojana will benefit those employees. This Yojana, Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana, will benefit those employees, those EPFO registered establishments I'm referring to. It will actually come into effect from 1st October 2020 and it will last till 30th June 2021. This is all about the package. Let's move to the other point. The other point is production linked incentive scheme for 10 champion sectors. Understand the words carefully. 10 champion sectors, that means the sectors which performed well. Champion sectors, under given circumstances, if still a few sectors are there which performed well, they have to be incentivized. They have to be actually given something extra to motivate them. So production linked incentive scheme for 10 champion sectors, that amount is 1.46 lakh crore. That is the package. I'm just actually discussing the allocation under this package. Additional outlay for PM Awas Yojana, urban sector, referring to only urban sector, that is 18,000 crores, and over and above 8,000. See, 8,000 crores has already been spent on PM Awas Yojana. So over and above 8,000, they are allocating additional expenditure, additional outlay of 18,000 crores on PM Awas Yojana urban. So outlay means expenditure, the expense. So additional expense of 18,000 crore on PM Awas Yojana urban, they have already spent. As per them, 8,000 crore has already been spent. The other point is IT relief scheme, and it is not the scheme you must be thinking of, or it has nothing to do with information technology. We are going to talk about income tax rebate here. So income tax relief scheme on sale of residential units. Residential unit, that means residential property. If you sell it, so rebate will be given to you. Some sort of relief, income tax relief will be given to you, and that relief I am saying that is of rupees 2 crores. I'm not referring to independent unit. If it is below 2 crore, you'll be getting some IT relief. Income tax relief scheme on sale of residential units up to 2 crores. That means the price of the property should be less than 2 crores. That's what I'm clarifying here. And it is not that you'll be getting the rebate of 2 crores. It is not possible. Valid till 30th June 2021. Fertilizer subsidy scheme. See, fertilizers much in use. We all know that everybody wants to use that, whosoever is into such sort of production. So fertilizers are used. So fertilizer subsidy scheme worth rupees 65,000 crores. The next point is additional expenditure for PM Garib Kalyan Yojana. Garib Kalyan Yojana is for rural employment. Garib Kalyan Yojana is for livelihood opportunities of the rural youth, of the rural people basically. So additional expenditure of PM Garib Kalyan Yojana is 10,000 crores. The scheme aims to provide rural employment. The scheme aims to provide livelihood opportunities to rural people. Let's move to the other point. Now we'll talk about boost for project exports. Boost for project exports. Read the words carefully. When I actually talk about exports, India will be exporting something to other nations. So here, when I'll be discussing about this point, then I'll be talking about other countries also. How? Read the lower paragraph, which says, through assistance given by India to developing countries under IDEAS. IDEAS is the name of a scheme. And what this IDEAS is, IDEAS, I'll expand it for you. This is going to be there in your exam for sure. Read that carefully. IDEAS, Indian Development and Economic Assistance Scheme. Indian Development and Economic Assistance Scheme, that is IDEAS. So I was saying under this IDEAS, India will be helping other nations. India will be assisting other nations. That's how, this sort of export is going to take place, where India will be exporting their product. India will be exporting its product to other nations. And this is basically of this project has the value of 3,000 crore. That is why I've mentioned it. Boost for project exports worth rupees 3,000 crore. Let's move to the other point. This is the last point. Be very clear on this point as well. Capital and industrial stimulus worth. That means there's another package for capital and industrial stimulus that is of 10,200 crores. But for capital and industrial expenditure on what? On defense equipment, on industrial infrastructure, on green energy. So 10,200 crores capital and industrial package for defense equipment, for industrial infrastructure, for green energy. Here I'll be wrapping it up. And if you like the session, please press the like button for sure. And thanks for watching.